an opportunity here, and we've got our first goal of the match. Leaves it to Ramsey to make it 3-0.
In Philippine football from the PFF National Football Center here in Carmona, Cavite. Huge match in Group B as the Azkals development team take on Mendiola FC 9091 in a group that is balanced on a knife's edge. Who wins today will move on into the semifinals. So much on the line, and we're so glad you could join us for this incredible contest. Jing Hamlang and Darren Hartman calling the action for you. And as we said, so much on the line today as Kaya FC Iloilo already booking their spot into the next round. The last spot is up for grabs. The Azkals development team taking on Mendiola tonight.
As you said, 3 of the 4 slots are already taken, and of course these two teams have already been tested against the almighty Kaya, and it's going to be a really big day for them going up against each other. It's all to play for.
Look at the scenes here in Carmona, Cavite. It is a beautiful pitch, beautiful venue for the teams to contest this incredible matchup. And let's take a look at the lineups right now, starting off with ADT. They're fresh from a 2-0 defeat to Kaya FC Iloilo. They've switched things up a little bit here for this contest.
Yeah, changing into a 3-5-2. It's going to be interesting to see with Diano back into the line. Playing alongside Rontini and Custodio, who did well against Kaya a few days ago, and then that just pushes Galeantes a little bit higher on the left-hand side. Bias staying on the right, and of course Sandro Reyes starting, came on as a sub, did really well, influenced the playing style of ADT, and they're definitely going out to play some football.
Galloso up top as well for ADT. He's going to be a man that a lot of people are going to be looking at to see if he can contribute some goals. Certainly scored in the previous matchup between the two sides as we take a look at Dan Paternal's Mendiola FC.
Yeah, there's been just a few changes in terms of personnel, just swapping and changing things around after a really tough outing against Kaya. Suba working himself into the starting 11. He did well when he came on as a sub. And then Ashley Flores is not leading the line today. He's switched over to play out wide, and that is pretty much how he finished the first 90 minutes as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's quite an attacking side. You've, of course, got Hamid in there as well, who we bring as an experience to this Mendiola side.
That was a quick look at the Mendiola side going up against the young guns of the ADT. Of course, they bring lots of energy, but also plenty of technique as well. And you're going to be expecting that ADT will be bringing quite a bit of firepower into this contest against Mendiola.
Well, they've done well in the first half, so out of their last 4 outings, if you include the outings in the under-23s. Unable to score goals as yet, but have been slowly creating chances, and very good at keeping a clean sheet in the first half just through that excellent work ethic. But it looks as if this squad today is out to try to hold the ball higher up the pitch and get that elusive goal, which is the only thing missing to really boost their confidence.
Harvey Galloso, captain for ADT, alongside Jim Ashley Flores, who captains Mendiola last outing. Something to forget for Mendiola. Were battered 5-0 by Kaya. What do they need to do to find more positivity and find success here, as they will need against ADT?
Well, it was one of those games where they needed to really shake themselves off. Not easy to get your first 90 minutes against a Kaya side that was really in song, playing excellent football. And of course today, having that 90 minutes behind them, they should be able to go out and play a little bit closer to what they would be expecting. I don't think they would have been expecting to pick up points against Kaya, to be honest with you. They would have been looking at this game as one of their key games, one of their key moments in this cup. And as you said, that is what makes this such an important game.
Of course, there are some massive implications for Mendiola in this one. Recently got their AFC license approved, which means they have the opportunity, if they progress to the next round and make it all the way, they could get an AFC slot coming into next year. But of course, they need to hurdle ADT first, who are in a better position to move on to the next round, Darren. All they need is a draw because of their superior goal difference.
Yeah, when the sides went out against Kaya, it wasn't just about points, it's also about goals. When the groups are really tight and small, it's really important to try to keep score lines respectable, because when it comes down to the wire, it's either going to be the smallest differences, like in the Stallions game against Cebu. It could have come down to fair play. I mean, that's the glory of a club competition, and we're already started here in ADT straight away. Just looking to control the tempo of the ball. I think that's to be expected, Jing, and I think Mendiola will be looking to try to control the tempo of ADT. That being said, first tackle, Mendiola.
Clearly a marked man. BS, a real live wire on the flank for ADT. They're going to be keeping a close eye on him. So glad you could join us for this matchup. In 3 days' time, it's the semi-final already of this competition. Is it going to be Mendiola who complete the cast, or will it be ADT? ADT welcoming back Mardiano into the fold. Was an impressive figure last year in the PFL. Was big in the SEA Games as well, so Mardiano, his reputation has been growing and growing, but because of the pandemic, hasn't really seen action for about a year now, Darren. So it's an opportunity to finally see where he's at in his football development.
Yeah, he was able to get himself on the books at a Thai professional club alongside his teammate Harvey Gyoso. Things didn't work out. They're back here applying their trade, which is, still good for their development. They're in a great program when it comes to, nurturing the development of talented athletes at this age. And he's going to want to make an impact in this game and just continue where he left off last season.
Transition breaks down here for Mendiola. All the way back to Kamerad. Sends it long. It looks like there's some space here for BS. Looking for the early ball, but that's straight into the hands of Asong. Flores hassling Custodio. Able to handle his business there on the second chance of asking. Just gets away from Sandro Reyes. Just haven't been able to settle in quite yet. That's Limbo.
I think some of the combination work early from ADT on the right-hand side looked good. I can see Reyes and Chong just talking, just trying to get one of the front players just to show their feet. One show, one go. And I could see that Reyes was trying to make that happen, which is something that was really missing in the last game. Really making sure that they could get their number 9 on the ball. I mean, when we say 9, we're talking really about the forwards. So I think it's positive. They're trying to do something tactically which will lead to better football.
Quick look at Kekkonen there. Although ultimately was a defeat for ADT against Kaya, Kekkonen was one of those bright spots for them. Expect him to be pulling the strings for ADT in the middle. Long ball forward for Dosso. That's comfortably backed by Custodio.
And of course, those long direct passes against an experienced Kaya side are, kind of difficult. They've got two, really experienced centre backs, but I guess Mendiola would fancy their chances, playing a little bit direct today, every now and then. You've got Ashley Flores on the right hand side, experience, and the striker for Mendiola, Dossa, is a big, strong lad. I thought against Kaya with that sort of tempo, he was a little bit, behind the pace, but maybe in today's game he might be able to find his rhythm.
Asking a bit too much of BS there, and wisely allowed to go out of play by Ashley. Asong not taking any chances here. He's asking for the players to go up. Mendiola tried to play out the back quite a bit against Kaya. Not always to the greatest results. Perhaps got themselves into a few problems by doing so. Looks like they're not quite ready to start doing that again here against ADT. Also under some light pressure from Gayoso. And ADT applying some high pressure here. Sandro. He's got support on the right side. BS going early. Galloso keeps it in. And that's going to be a goal kick. Flag had stayed down there. And this is the position that a lot of people want to see Harvey Galloso taking up. That's leading the line for his side.
Yeah, I think leading the line works as long as there's two of them doing it together. I don't think he's the sort of player that can lead a line by himself. And he doesn't need to, because he's agile, he's light on his feet. So working up front with Dennis Chong should work for ADT, especially with a player like Sandro Reyes in behind. He's been drifting, as I said, on the right-hand side. They look to be combining quite well. They just need to get the ball swinging now and get the ball rotating a little bit better. It's a great pass forwards.
Ashley there to shepherd it out once more. They've been probing down the right side. ADT. He's going to be one of the veterans at the back for Mendiola, Daniel Ashley. He's been pushed up into a more of a holding midfield role, but as you can see, he's still very much defensive-minded. We're going to launch it forward. Galloso! Ooh, in acres of room there, and you can see his intention. Looked like he had just strayed a little bit early. Trying to find that connection. Play that early ball into the front man. Mendiola pouncing on a second ball here. Dealt with by Gallantes. Just a little bit too hot for Gallantes to control. That's going to be an interesting challenge. How do they deal with Dosso?
Well, Rontini's he's a physical character himself. He's quite feisty in the tackles. He's quite aggressive. And of course, the man marking him at the moment, Matthew Custodio, he's a big lad as well. So if you play at the back, you kind of get used to it. It's not an easy job to do, but it's just something that you have to adjust, and making sure that one of the three centre-backs covers the long pass as well, not just the first player making the challenge.
Hajimadi unable to get the whistle there. You'd expect him to have his fingerprints on this game at some point. Mendiola keeping the pressure here in the ADT half. They're going to throw in here. Clarino playing in a more advanced position. Was played at center back in the previous outing, so a bit of a reshuffle for him.
That's one of the things. You can train and train and train, but really for a back four, it's when you get tested in those games, you can kind of get a good feel of whether or not the position is all right. If you got the right leaders in there. Great work by Harvey.
Reyes off to the races here, and that's a mistake. Real opportunity for ADT. Mendiola just about surviving here. Galloso just wide. First real chances of the game going the way of the Azkals development team. Clarino upset, having a few words with the referee, but the focus needs to be in defending this upcoming corner. That was the final shot from Galloso, but it was the previous opportunity that was the more dangerous one for this Mendiola back line. Dennis Chung had a real opportunity to open the scoring. So comes out to collect. He misses it completely.
It's one of those things. If your team scored, 8 goals like Kaya, you would fancy the confidence of the side and your strikers in a one-on-one situation like that, just to roll it past the goalkeeper. But when your team hasn't scored for a while, there's a lot of things that go through your head.
The boys of ADT have waited a while to see a goal. They'd love to see one early here in this match. That's a miscue from BS. Presents it to Doso. Chance to take advantage. Long range effort. Well over the bar, but it's going to be a corner kick. Took a deflection on the way out. That's a uncharacteristic error there from BS. Just a real cheap ball given away. Took a touch on the way in. Five bodies inside the box for Mendiola. Finds the head of Rontini. And BS, no nonsense, just clears it away. Trying to find us here at the broadcasting booth, it seems.
At my age, I would have missed it anyway.
Fantastic evening for football. You miss these nights. Weekend football used to be the norm before everything transpired. It's nice to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it's been a while to get us back, but I mean, the quality, even from carrying over from last season, these games are really good football matches. Taking into consideration as well that these teams don't get very long to prepare. That's been a long time since they've had competitive games, but the standard of football is good. The facility's excellent, the ball moves nice and smooth, people are trying to play football, every team's got like a different tactic, a different way of playing, and that's how football should be. And of course now people are representing areas and regions, so
slowly but surely, football picking back up in the country. You hear rumors of the league starting off early next year. Expect a lot of footballers rubbing their hands together. Gallantes skips past Clarino. Cross was blocked away. Clearance there from the big man in the middle, Jesse Semblante. That was a poor throw in, but Doso unable to corral it. Kekkonen. Oof. That's a forceful one. Boot was definitely high from Daniel Ashley. He says he got the ball. Chung quick to his feet, but you can see there were some lingering effects. Oof. Shrug of the shoulders from Ashley, but definitely seemed like it warranted a whistle.
yeah, even at the last game against Kaya, I saw a few. Kind of was a little bit more understanding in that game. I mean, frustrations were there, and sometimes the more senior players have just got to step up and just put their foot in. But I mean, studs up, usually straight into the book. I've seen people actually walk for less than that.
Quite high. It was above the waist, it looked like. So Daniel Ashley Able to get away with one there.
And I mean, I'm not too close with Dennis, but I mean, he's not the tallest of guys, is he? So
It's quite a distance here from Harvey Gayoso, but he's lining it up like he wants a crack at it. Hits the top of the wall. Chung trying to wriggle free, and he gets a penalty. Whistle was blown immediately by Mick John. Pineda, no real hesitation. He was in a perfect spot, and he was convinced right away.
I'm sure there might be people who will correct me, but I believe it was Bias who missed that penalty for the under-23s. So it'd be interesting to see who. Yes, penalty. He's gone at him a couple of times. I don't think you can complain because the ball's already gone.
The arm went across, made it easy for the referee to call it. And it's Harvey Gayoso who's going to take this one. He's 1-on-1 against Asong. Wearing the captain's armband. And Harvey Gayoso put ADT up here. Gayoso buries it. No hesitation from the captain, and ADT take the lead. Cool as he like from
Goal
Harvey
for
Gayoso.
Azkals development team, number 14, Harvey Gayoso.
How about that for penalty technique, Darren?
Yes, as you say, cool as you like from Harvey, captain, doing exactly what his team's been missing, which is putting the ball in the back of the net.
No run up, no hesitation. Straight into the corner. And now an uphill battle for Mendiola. Not the situation you want to find yourself in if you're Mendiola. Up against an ADT side that are quite formidable at the back. So if Mendiola want to move through to the next round, a minimum of 2 goals need to be scored. Be very interesting to see what Dan Pedernal does. Does he switch things up? It is still very early in this game. Bit more pressure up top here from Mendiola. Camarad, we're going to send that over to Bias. Finds its target. Reyes gives it away to Hajimari. Gets clipped there. Has a few words for Sandro Reyes as well. They're going to be tangling quite a bit in this game. Set pieces could be a real factor in this match. It could be a key here for Mendiola. Hajimari's delivery. Headed up by Kekkonen. Edge of the box. Still able to keep it in place, Suba. Limbo does well there. Just ushers Manlapas out. We saw a brief glimpse of Suba, and he's going to be a real important piece now for Mendiola. One of those players that brings a bit of inspiration on the pitch. They go long, looking for Gayoso. That's a miscue, unpunished. Asong out to collect. You can see possession statistics heavily favoring the men in white. Reyes feeds BS. Early ball forward. And just in front. Asong quick to collect. Starting to find their groove here, ADT.
And it's good to see players like Bias just getting on the ball a little bit higher up the pitch instead of against Kai where he's having to chase a lot of long passes. But it's nice when the wingers get on the ball, they're comfortable and they can start dictating their scenarios.
Gallantes. Galloso lets it go. Reyes actually has some room to operate. Chung skips past his man, finds room. Ashley, crucial block. Trying to switch the play. Not on the same wavelength there with Galloso. He wanted it at the top of the box. But promising from ADT. They're continuing to probe here. Looking for Dozo. Confidence in BS there to take the touch. Looking for the return ball, and he gets it. That's tidy defending at the back. Hajimadi. Lots of white shirts inside Mendiola's half here. The pressure pays off. Giving away. They keep it alive. Gallantes makes it to the end line. He's going to win himself a corner kick.
It's nice that ADT have got a good balance of right-footed and left-footed players as well. Makes a really big difference when you're pushing the ball quickly towards the byline. And of course when you've got Harvey up top as well, who's got a wand of a left foot. Just gives a little bit of balance, makes it harder to mark because your dynamics are slightly different. And of course ADT been putting their set pieces together on the training ground.
Past the halfway point of this opening period already. It's breezed by, Darren. Another corner kick on the way. Jimson Cristal with the last touch on that one. Kekkonen with a deeper delivery. Doso able to get his head to it, but it went the wrong direction. It's going to be a third consecutive corner kick here for ADT.
Well, they say it takes you about 5 chances to score a goal, so ADT producing lots of opportunities at the moment. I don't think it'll stay 1-0 much longer.
Another good delivery from Kekkonen. Galloso had gone down, but the whistle blows against ADT. Mendiola holding firm. Of course, whoever progresses from this match will take on Stallion Laguna in the next round, who won their seeding match against Cebu. It was a close game. Stallion Laguna just edging it 1-0. Whistle blown there. Infraction on Sandro Reyes. real promising player for ADT. Even more than that, actually, for Philippine football in general. Could see him suiting up for the senior side not too long from now. Taking their time at the back now, Mendiola. Poorly given away by Ashley, but he gets it back. Looking for space on the left side. All the way back to the keeper. Interesting setup here from Mendiola as they have everybody on the front line. Limbo gets it out wide. Gallantes can't find Gayoso. Move it from left to right. Diano joins in. Early ball forward. And that's just got a little bit too much pace for Reyes, although he did appreciate the effort.
Yeah, it's good build-up play from ADT. Just playing a little short, and then just switching out to the other side of the pitch. And difference between this game and Cairo is they're able to get players ahead of the ball without having to, play long searching passes forwards, which is more efficient. And there's an opportunity.
Completely missed by Semblante. Gayoso gets a shot at Asong. That's well stopped by the keeper. Missed clearances becoming a habit here for Mendiola. Putting them under some unnecessary pressure. And Flores asking for a bit more pace. Frustration starting to set in here with this Mendiola side. They can't seem to get going, Darren.
Yeah, well, ADT are just building up and then getting it into their midfield. Then looking to build from there. Whereas Mendiola, they're getting it at the back, making a few passes and then still playing the same sort of football. Just a very long, direct, searching pass because of a little bit of a lack of movement. Partly, in the middle, they're getting overrun by a lot of short, sharp passing. I think it's just taking its toll. But they do need to do something. They need something that just sparks them off a little bit. I'm sure that the coach, Dan Paderno, will have something to say at half-time, but I don't think they want to wait till half-time. Need to score 2 goals if they want to progress in this competition.
Doso, rather fortunate to get that ball back. Clarino, I'm going to work something here with Flores. Crowded out, and it's Limbo who's able to turn away. Nice and tidy here from ADT. Looking for options there, and in the end ran out of room. Looks like we're going to get out quite easily from the danger zone, instead put themselves into some trouble. Hajimari dispossessed. Custodio goes short to Gallantes. Now Mendiola starting to pick up the pressure here. Sloppy from Manlapas. Counter-attack is on here. Dennis Chong, one-on-one against his marker. And it's a lovely finish. ADT double their lead. Cool, calm, collected from Dennis Chong.
And we can see just in the last few passages of play just how technical the ADT players are and why they play for ADT.
Goal
That's
for
their
Azkals
first goal in
development
open
team.
play.
Number
It was worth
7.
the wait.
Dennis
Just a few
Chong.
passages of play building up to this. You could see them starting to gain in confidence. You could see how good they were. Technically, their footwork was good. The ball fell to the right person in the middle of the park. Sandro Reyes, lovely weighted pass to Dennis Chong. Still had a lot of work to do. He was sharp, he was quick, he accelerated. And as soon as he chopped onto his favourite foot, there was only one place that ball was going.
Passed it into the net there, Dennis Chong, and it's a difficult proposition for Mendiola here, finding themselves 2-0 down so early in this game, just at the half-hour mark. Now it looks like ADT are in the mood here. Hunting a third, BS. He also got his head to it. Another missed clearance, this time from Briseño.
And that time ADT really feeling the effects and the joy of playing with that 5 across the middle. Bias in loads of space on the right-hand side, nicely tucked in next to the touchline and just able to whip it in. It's a good ball into the box, and Harvey is actually better in the air than that. I mean, he'd be disappointed that he's not converted.
I believe it was against Mendiola where he scored a fantastic header. Be hunting a second here. Gallantes goes short. It's a poor corner in the end. Easily cleared away. Chung gets entangled. Looks like it's going to be a booking. Now Mick John keeping his card in the pocket. Certainly came across against Flores. Looks like he's switching sides. Jim Ashley Flores hasn't found much joy on this right side. Suba skips past 2. Was hoping for some support there, didn't get it. Worrying signs here for Mendiola. That's a lovely ball. BS. Chong. Hounded by 3. Finds an outlet chance here for Gayoso. And that's blocked away.
Good build-up again from ADT. Ball was deep in the left-hand side, managing to switch it out to the right. Then Dennis Chong just setting it off nicely, and the ball just fell to Harvey, and it's a fantastic save. Keepers kept the game at 2-0 there.
I see the intention as well from Kekkonen. Much like Chong was looking to pass it into the net.
Well, sometimes when you can't score goals, just go back to basics. And that's a fantastic leap, and that's a great goal. Basic.
You did say 5 chances were needed. I believe that is their 5th corner, Darren. And Christian Rontini, it's a center back's goal. In control of the game and in complete command now.
Goal for Azkals
3-0
development team. Number 18, Christian Rontini.
You have to say, Darren, it's pretty criminal from Mendiola. He looked like he was free the entire sequence to jump and head that ball into the net. Nobody marking Rontini on that one.
Well, he's the 3rd centre-back to score in this cup competition, setting a trend of awkward celebrations. No, I'm just kidding. But when a centre-back comes up for a set piece, you've just got to go like for like. They're going up there for a reason. Centre-backs are good in the air. That's why they play centre-back. So if a centre-back comes up, just number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like for like, danger for danger. Stay tight with your man and jump with them. If not, this is the situation you're going to find yourself in. Just picking up little soft goals where an experienced side like Mendiola should be able to be a little bit tighter against a younger side.
Limbo, couple step overs, drifts inside. Attack still on here. Bias outside of the foot. Oof. Real opportunity there. Sandro Reyes was ghosting in behind.
And of course ADT, like we saw last season, they're not a small side. They've got a lot of players who are over 6 foot. And I think even in little scenarios like that, just try to limit the number of set pieces, limit the number of corners, because every set piece, especially against a well-organised professional side, they work on this. They put time on this in training.
Gallantes from the opposite side. Can they score again from a corner? Deep delivery. And it is in! From another center back, it's Mendiola from the far post. Heads it into the ground and into the back of the net. ADT up 4. One more look at it here. Diano able to get the better of Miggy Clarino.
Goal for Azkals development team. Number 12, Mendiola.
You have to say it's well executed there. And ball was perfect over to the far post, and that's what you want in that kind of position. If it's when in doubt, head it into the ground and on target, and you get rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, two sorts of headers. The defensive header up in the air. We've seen Rontini do it a couple of times, and of course an attacking header, which normally is down. And yeah, head it into the ground if you have to. When you're running out of options, aim for the far post, and anything can happen. Definitely softer than the goal they just conceded against Rontini. Diano, good in the air himself. Just found a little bit of space at the far post, and 4-0 now. And ADT are really in control of this game.
They were 3 down at halftime against Kaya. Ultimately conceded 5 in that game. We talked about the importance of this match and the need to get all 3 points here against ADT, but it's gone from bad to worse very, very quickly.
And it could get even worse here with Harvey on his stronger left foot.
Galloso setting up his sights there, couldn't pull the trigger, gets another crack at it. And there it is, a brace for Harvey Galloso, making it 5 for ADT. The nightmare keeps getting worse for
Goal for
Mendiola.
Azkals development team. Number 14, Harvey Galloso.
Bit of good fortune there involved in the goal, but the finish, no luck about it. Pure quality from Harvey Galloso.
He'd be disappointed that he didn't get it the first time when it was on his stronger left foot. Hesitated a little bit, took the extra touch, but made no mistake the second time round.
Matchups between Mendiola and ADT have been tight in the past. This one not following that story at all. And Limbo having a word here with Manlapas, who gets booked. Certainly a little extra physicality from the midfielder. Frustrations showing themselves now. Took a swipe and had a little tug as well.
That's just frustration, but with Mendiola you could see you've got half the team wanting to play one way and then the other half wanting to play the other. You've got normally the rule, if you're like a solid team all with the same outlook on the game, one press, all press. So if your strikers start pressing the defenders, your midfielder got to get up and start pressing their line. If not, you just end up with these big gaps in the field, and that's exactly what ADT are able to exploit at the moment. So when those 3 in the middle get on the ball, they're not really under any pressure, and you give a good player time and space, they're going to punish you, even at you know, the age that these ADT players are at. They know exactly what to do. They've played at the top level. They're not young boys. They're just young professionals.
Sandro Reyes over the ball. 5 minutes still to go here in this first half. Anything can happen. But you have to say this is fantastic for the confidence of ADT, who have found scoring goals quite difficult over the last couple months. Now that they have finally found a score sheet, they can't seem to stop scoring now, Darren.
Yeah, and a lot of that's coming from the movement of the players in the front line. Dennis Chong's been excellent at just showing his feet. Little swaps with Sandro Reyes to keep the dynamics nice and sharp, and then the ball rotation has been good. Just maybe a little bit more quality in areas, but it's definitely getting better.
Pull back, Chong. Just trying to spin away from Manlapas. Both men a little bit hesitant in the challenge there. It's going to be an early substitution here as Aaron Altice gets introduced into the game. A real veteran for this side. A real veteran of top flight Philippine football, really. Aaron Altice has played for quite a few
substitution
clubs
for
in the top
Mendiola
flight.
FC.
Now he's going to be replacing
Number 3, Hosni Doso.
Hosni
Replaced by
Doso.
player number 10, Aaron Altice.
Simply wasn't providing enough of a threat up front for coach Dan Padernal, and he's pulled off early here.
Yeah, trying to exploit the physicality, but as we said, this ADT side is not small. And now they're going back to how we usually would see this Mendiola side set up, with Flores, the captain, leading the line.
Looking to catch Asong there. Was it far away, to be fair?
What a way that would have been to score your hat-trick. Little smile from Asong, but I think he knows that was pretty close.
Got a feel for Asong here in goal for Mendiola. Some of these he really hasn't had much to do. Suba. Flores. Challenge put in there by Limbo. ADT now happy to slow things down just a little bit.
And also happy just, you know, to get the ball on the deck and just get it moving, even from the set pieces. Just get on the ball, get the ball moving, keep the tempo high.
Chong was looking to feed Gayoso. Altice steps on the brakes, looking for support. Reyes, that's a lovely ball. Gayoso looking for his hat trick. Can he complete it? No. Asong out quickly.
Just a little bit of match sharpness there, really. He's got through a couple of times, but Harvey's a great player when he's enjoying his football. Opening up his stride, just linking really well with Sandro Reyes. There's another lovely pass from him.
Sitting in that number 10 position, Sandro Reyes, just below the forwards, and that's exactly what you want him to create the chances. Very easily could have been a 6th for ADT. They're expecting just the 2 added minutes in this opening period. If you're Mendiola, you can't wait for that halftime whistle to blow.
Additional time, 2 minutes.
This would not have been in their game plan. But they have met an ADT side which were really fired up for this game.
Reyes. Medyo maaga lang. Called for the offside there. Would have been clean through.
Yeah, and that time Dennis come provider there for Sandro. Just a little swap of roles. But it does suit Sandro Reyes playing in that 10 with Limbo and Kekanen in behind, because what it really does is it gives him the liberty to be creative, and it gives that extra fallback. You've got two players who are really good at reading the passes and strong enough physically. Sandro's physicality will come with age, remembering he was born 2003 for those who are wondering, and I think ADT have got a couple of players born of that year. So the physicality will come as long as he wants to work on it. He wants to keep improving himself as a player. But at the moment, tactically, ADT have got it right tonight, and we could see 6.
Reyes now looking to head that one in. It lacked the power, and in the end, it missed the goal as well.
Next time I say nice things about you, Sandro, you've got to put that in the back of the net.
No lack of commitment here from Gayoso. Puts in a sliding challenge on the ageless Hamed Hajimari. Clarino dispossessed. See ADT continuing to pile on the pressure here. They're interested in racking up as many goals as possible. And there it is, a respite for Mendiola. They've been absolutely battered here in the first half. As you can see with the smiles of the ADT players, how this game is going. Absolute one-way traffic for the men in white. Back to the drawing board here for Mendiola. They're going to need a massive second half if they are to have any hopes of making it into the next round. But so far it looks as if ADT are in cruise control for that last and final spot into the semifinals. And it's been a goal fest here. The biggest one we've seen so far in this edition of the Copa Paulino Alcantara, but it started off with actually an effort from Mendiola.
Development team 5.
Yeah, of course, and that was followed by the first of the 5 goals from Javier from the spot.
We thank you all for coming tonight
Nice,
and encourage
cool,
you to
technical
visit
penalty.
the official
But
PFF
I mean, when it comes down to
website
it,
for more
there are a lot of
details on
sides
the
that were
Copa
saying, oh, we want to
Paulino
avoid Kaya.
Alcantara.
So that's one of the
Those
reasons
who
why
are not on the
ADT
playing
are
pitch,
really pushing to try to get more goals on the board, because they will want to also send a little bit of fear or send a message to both Stallions and to Cebu FC to say, look, we're also a team that you don't want to play against. In the air, from set pieces, ADT will be happy to have converted a lot of the training time that they've spent working on these things. And then, of course, the 4th goal came in the same fashion, Jing.
Mardiano, Christian Rontini, 2 from Javier Gayoso. And of course, there was a goal from Dennis Chung as well. It was a real masterclass in attacking football for the Azkals development team, and their captain had his fingerprints all over it. So there you have it, 5-0 at the break. Will we see more goals in the second half, or will we see the start of a comeback from Mendiola FC 9091? We're taking a short break, and we'll catch you in a few minutes. You couldn't ask for a more perfect half of football if you're from the Azkals development team. Absolute destruction there after 45 minutes. 5-0. That is not a typo, folks. Mendiola FC 9091 have been put to the sword, and they're going to need to react here as we head into the second half, Darren.
Well, I don't think anyone would have predicted that sort of scoreline. And to be fair, there were also, for those 5 goals, several opportunities which could have been converted. ADT have come out with a purpose. They were patient, they built in, but once that confidence was there, they were unstoppable for that, 10 minutes of play where they managed to score 4 goals in about 6-7 minutes. Unbelievable. Be very interesting to see how Mendiola react. Some may say the game is beyond them, but if one team can score 5 goals, the other team can score 5 goals. I mean, that's just the way that football is, but the next few minutes will really tell and see what sort of attitude Mendiola have come out with.
Just to recap for those just joining us, Harvey Gayoso got us started with a goal from the penalty spot, then Dennis Chung from a breakaway. Lovely finish from him. And then the corner kicks came. First, Christian Rontini powered one in. Then from the opposite flank, it was Mardiano's turn to head it into the ground and in. Then there was a second for Harvey Gayoso. Sweet finish with his right foot. And that's how it stands right now. Dan Padernal has some big decisions to make as we head into the second half. And as you can see, absolute domination, possession, shots, corners, everything you could think of was on the side of ADT.
Well, it's quite similar to, when we watch Kaya play in terms of the shots. I mean, they're not just 13 half chances. These are 13 well-worked team chances, which you could argue you could convert more. But 5 out of 13, that's good going. Loads of corners, just really shows the amount of pressure that ADT have been putting on Mendiola. And of course, Mendiola, just that one lonely shot at the start of the game. But it's a contested game, and can Mendiola get back in it? It's really going to be up to these next 5 minutes. What sort of attitude will Mendiola come out with, Jing?
And here they are, taken to the field now. Of course, the Azkals development team, for those unaware, comprised of mostly under 23 players, and a lot of them who competed as well in the recent under 23 Asian competition. And for those who are of the footballing youth here in the country, they will be very pleased to see their peers performing at such a level. And I know some folks who will be particularly interested in this match, and those are the folks from Sampaloc Tanay National High School. Their coach, Marianita Fulgado, will be watching alongside the rest of Star FC, and they're watching the young guns of our country really put on a show tonight. Saying what's up to George Bugnak as well, and that is coming from your friend Carl De Toya. It's been a real festive atmosphere here in the PFF National Football Center in Carmona, Cavite. Not least because of the birthday of Sadelf Tupas, who is here. He's in charge of the broadcast, and he's made sure that we've got a festive atmosphere to enjoy this match that we have on our hands. ADT versus Mendiola. As you mentioned, Darren, the first 5 minutes of this period, absolutely crucial.
Yes, Mendiola will want to keep hold of the ball. They're going to want to just get a good feel for it, keep ADT away from the ball, try to break down a little bit of, though, I wouldn't say momentum, but confidence. They don't want ADT to get back into their rhythm, popping and moving the ball around, because when they do that, they're very difficult to play against. Rontini bringing the ball forwards.
Yes. Looking for another through ball. He's been quite the menace for Mendiola. Gayoso. Chance for him! Oof, so close.
And that's from one of the senior players of ADT. From the players who are actually in that starting 11 tonight, there's only 4 of them who are not eligible to play in the upcoming SEA Games, which should be in May. And those boys would be Matthew Custodio, Diano, Troy Limbo, and Harvey Gayoso, who you just saw just blaze that just wide of the post.
Mendiola are going to have any chance in this match, Darren, they're going to need to cut out those silly mistakes. Calcio gifted another opportunity so early in this half. Exactly what you want to avoid. BS. Nice little exchange here. Chung able to turn. Just popping the ball around. ADT looking for the spaces. Custodio. Diano. Lovely ball. Chance here for Dennis Chung. He's onside. Just looking to feed that back.
Now, if ADT could just find Sandro, picking out those little through passes and get that third man running off the through pass, then they could open up the floodgates and push it to double figures here. Dennis Chong there wanting it to happen. Sandro's finding Dennis Chong there, and I think if Harvey can just go at the same time as Dennis, then you're going to have yourself a situation where they could put lots of goals on the board. And I mean, looking at the way that Kaya come out and played in their first two games, if ADT could come out and do that second time round against Kaya, it would be like being in the middle of Europe. I mean, there's some fantastic football being played at the moment.
Suba, one-on-one with Custodio here. Able to get a cross in. Clarino with a bit of a loose touch there, presented it. Chance here for Flores! Would have been blocked by Camarad anyway, but the flag went up. First sort of sniff at goal for Mendiola. And it looks serious here for Jim Ashley Flores. He's pointing at his ankle, and he's not moving. Getting treatment immediately here.
Well, it was a good ball into him. Fantastic goalkeeping. Come out very, very big, very strong.
I see a look of concern from Mardiano. Used to play for Mendiola. Ball went through. Flag went up immediately, but of course Flores didn't know that. Oh! It was from the follow-through. He planted it and rolled his ankle.
Yeah, as the goalkeeper as well made contact. That looked quite nasty, actually.
Big question mark if Flores is going to be able to continue here, which would be another blow for Mendiola. And there's all kinds of space here for ADT to take advantage of. Galloso. Chung took it away from Reyes. Kekkonen. BS. Looking for Chung. They're probing. Been a rough day for this Mendiola backline. Jimson Crestal included. It hasn't been a particularly enjoyable experience for Michael Asong in goal for Mendiola. You see how far forward Diano is making contact with this Mendiola side. That was just at the halfway point. ADT quite happy to engage very high up in Mendiola's half, and that's a poor one. You can see why they want to pressure this Mendiola side, because they can get pressured into mistakes. Kekkonen wanting to play quickly here. Easy one for Harvey Gayoso to hit in. Hat trick complete. Had a chance earlier in the first half, but this one, he wasn't going to make any mistakes.
Goal for Azkals development team. Number 14, Harvey Gayoso.
Yes, an AD team managing to match the scoreline of Kaya against Mendiola, and Mendiola now making their changes, just trying to freshen things up, just try to give players a little bit of a break. It's been relentless, and I mean the marking is not being tight enough, and we know players like Harvey, because I mean they're featured. We've seen them play at UAAP level. We've seen what they're like in the air. You've just got to get closer to them. I can understand if it's an unknown, but you know Harvey's good in the air. You know he's after his hat trick. Just get tighter.
Substitute.
Taking nothing away from the header, it's still a well-taken goal. It's a fantastic delivery into the box as well.
For Mendiola FC.
So here come the substitutions.
Player number 1
for Mendiola.
Michael Asong, replaced
Michael
by player
Asong
number 22,
has been
Joshua
removed.
Polinag.
Polinag has checked in.
Player number 4, Jimson Cristal, replaced by player number 13, Miguel Arterilla.
And we've seen Miguel Artilleria, check into the match, which is a very strange development here, Darren, because now Jesse Semblante, who was playing at center back, is now the keeper.
Well, I don't think it happens very often, but I mean, Asong, he's conceded 12 goals. That's heavy.
Reyes just trying to poke that through, and Semblante with a nice save. Maybe he's really a keeper. One thing is for sure, changes needed to be made here for Mendiola. They've pulled the trigger.
Well, we were just speaking before the game about how many good Filipino goalkeepers have been produced. There have been a lot, especially for this level. And I've seen at UAAP, NCAA level, players play in 2 positions. Less seen in Europe. Normally people really specialise in it, but I guess here, all that basketball that people play at a young age have just got good hand-eye coordination.
We'll see if it helps the cause here for Mendiola. It certainly can't get any worse for them. It's rather poor from Aaron Aldiche. Maybe Michael Asong's actually rather relieved to be taken off as goalkeeper. Certainly not a job that many are clamoring for at the moment. So Miggy Clarino has moved back into a center back position. Ashley out wide. See if this creates a bit more solidity for this Mendiola side. That was Miguel Artillera's first real contribution. Listed as a left winger, playing at left back tonight. mentioned how important the first 5 minutes were going to be, Darren. And unfortunately, it's not good news for Mendiola.
No, it's not good news, and I think now it's going to be a little bit about damage limitation. It's going to be about just trying to play some football. You've got to remember that if Mendiola lose this game, this is the last game of their cup run. So at least try to get something from the game that you can take as a positive, and something that you can take back to the drawing board and hopefully bring into the league, which should start early next year.
Flores with a turn. Nice to see him back. Able to shake off the rolling of the ankle. Still not 100%. As you can see, still limping on that left foot. He wants to stay in, the captain. It's all about pride now for Mendiola. Can't seem to see a way back from this big a hole.
Well, they could set themselves a target, Jing, of scoring a goal. I mean, that's something which is achievable. They've got the players out there. I mean, Hamid's always, able to produce magic, and I mean, there are other players which will step in and be able to do a similar job if called upon. We've seen, Ashley Flores, although he's struggling, score a fantastic goal. It's a great pass forwards.
Calcio. Oof. That's brought out a good save from Semblante. Diano. Lovely crossfield pass. Or diagonal ball, rather, for Calcio. That was a shot with some venom. So some substitutions now for the Azkals development team. It looks like it's going to be a
substitution for Azkals development team. Player number 22, Oskari Kekkonen, replaced by player number 24, Vincent Parpan.
So Parpan.
Player number 7, Dennis Chung, replaced by player number 17, Ivan Uwano.
Marcel Ivan Uwano, the second
player. Player number 12, Mar Diano, replaced by player number 5, Pete Forasuelo.
And Pete Forasuelo, the third to check in here for ADT, replacing Kekkonen. You've got Diano, who cramped up and will be replaced. And the last one is Chong, who's been replaced by Uwano up top. So 30 minutes for the substitutes to leave their mark in this fixture. Troy Limbo to deliver. Return to sender. Limbo's going to let that one out for a throw-in. Under pressure, Manlapas, but gets the goal kick. That's a first look at Vincent Parpan. Shots on target for ADT. Sampo. Para sa Mendiola, wala pa. It's been that kind of game.
And even with those 3 substitutions, ADT just still looking to keep that playing philosophy going, keep the ball moving, build the ball up, but that's a mistake.
Manlapas taking the contact from behind. Sandro Reyes, the culprit. Hajimari assessing his options. In the end, a poor ball as he was looking for a Suba there. Play through the middle here, Reyes. BS looking for the run of Uwano. And that was poor from Gayoso, who took over from Uwano. He was offside. Had he not touched that ball, Uwano would have had an opportunity. Semblante looking like he's better with his hands than his feet.
Troy Limbo's been having a really good game. Gave the ball away there, but he's been really good at reading the passes and just getting a foot in, doing exactly what you would want from your holding centre mid. And of course ADT have 2 in there. I think Troy Limbo's job is really to just to break up the play and give a simple pass, and he's been doing that really well today.
Flores able to skip away. He's playing through the pain barrier here. Utilizes a lot of pace in his game. You wonder how much he's kept of that pace after rolling his ankle earlier. Ashley looking to thread the needle. Well cut out. That was a foul throw. Poor. Suba. Wano taking charge. BS in support. Didn't make enough contact there as Polina able to clear. Barpan under pressure. Reyes able to spread it out wide to BS. Rantini. All alone in acres of space. Oliver BS. Can he pick out a teammate? Semblante gets his hands to it.
Mendiola doing a better job at just trying to stop the combinations in the middle, but ADT is still able to work the ball out wide, and the wide men have got loads of time and space to put good quality balls into the box. Taiwano just drifting offside.
Right in front of goal there. Man from Cebu. Another substitution about to take place. Marvin Briseño giving way alongside Eric Manlapas. They're going to be replaced by Kenneth Payosalan and James Pangasinan. So a few more changes here for Mendiola as they look to find some inspiration off the bench. Wholesale changes taking place.
Substitution. Mendiola FC. Player number 26, Eric Manlapas, replaced by player number 19, Kenneth Payosalan. Player number 28, Marvin Breseño, replaced by player number 14, James Pangasinan.
And all these changes have just taken a little bit of the tempo out of the game. It will take a few minutes for things to settle down and players to adjust into their positions, as we see another set of substitutions coming up here for ADT.
Substitution for ADT brings in Federico Alegre.
I'm sure there's a lot of younger players at home just, wondering what does it take to, get selected for, an ADT setup. Best advice I can give you, if you look at the sort of players seeing out of the pitch, yeah, there's a lot of boys who have come from abroad, but there is a lot of homegrown talent out there. And a lot of them have come through, done really, really well at UAAP level. For example, Matthew Custodio, Troy Limbo played for LaSalle Green Hills, and then of course you've got Harvey Gioso from Ateneo. But I mean, there's a fair representation of UAAP, NCAA, and of course, the best of the club players as well. So the best advice I can give you is play well, train hard, be disciplined, and get as fit as you can and as quick as you can, so you can counter-attack just like this.
BS finds Gayoso, and that's off the crossbar. Second opportunity, and it's wide. Gayoso in some pain here. They're looking for a penalty. Certainly got an opportunity to get the shot away. 2 bites at it there for the captain. Just wide there. What a stop from Semblante early on.
That's a nasty late tackle there on Harvey.
No addition to his hat-trick quite yet.
Yeah, and ADT are just looking to perhaps play some mind games with Kaya. Maybe get that 7th. But Mendiola are doing a much better job now defensively of just trying to, contain them a little bit. The changes did change the dynamics of the game, and things are settling down. But ADT are still able to create chances. It would be nice to see Mendiola make a game of this last 20 minutes, though. Try to string together a few phases of possession themselves.
Rontini almost caught out there. To your point earlier on about the players from the UAP level or the collegiate level here in the Philippines, a couple of the substitutes that were brought in. Parpan plays his football at UP. We had Forosuelo from FEU, and Oano, who was introduced playing was in Cebu. Also Alegre, who was brought in, actually player of De La Salle University. So there you have it. And of course, the King Eagle himself, Harvey Gayoso with that one. And that's going to be another penalty. Inside the box. Didn't even have the ball. Player who's gone down here is Pete Forosuelo, and a yellow card given to Daniel Ashley for what seemed to be a senseless challenge there. Be lovely to see that one again.
Well, there's been a couple of things off the ball, and they have got away with it. I think the referee's been really good, considerate about the score line. things. But I mean, every now and then there just has been a clumsy tackle, and unfortunately, a clumsy tackle outside of the box is a free kick, but a clumsy tackle inside of the box is a penalty. Albeit soft, it was still clumsy.
From behind there, from Daniel Ashley, Mick John Pineda said it was enough to give his second penalty of the match, and it's going to be Harvey Gayoso to take it once more. He's looking for a fourth goal in this game. Quickly skyrocketed to the top scorer of this competition. Gayoso went low this time. Semblante had a chance, but in the end, it is a fourth for Harvey Gayoso, a seventh for ADT.
And that equals his goal tally in his last outing in the PFL. He's gone the same side as he went. It's one of those things when you take a second penalty, do you go the same way or not? And that time, same side, but just kept it low. And in fairness, he's gone the right way. Keeper went the right way, just couldn't get down quick enough.
Of course, Semblante is a substitute goalkeeper, was playing at center back to start this game. (7-0). 17 minutes to go. ADT have been looking real smooth, and here we go again. Gayoso finds the far corner to make it 8. ADT captain Harvey Gayoso hunting for a double hat-trick.
Goal for Azkals development team.
Sandro
Number
Reyes with a
14,
lovely
Harvey
ball, and Harvey
Gayoso.
Gayoso buries it.
Fantastic weight of through pass from Sandro Reyes, and again, cool, calm and collective from the off. Harvey just finding his extra pace again. We've not seen that actually in the last few games that I've seen him play, but he's enjoying his football, and he's been relentless at just running those little passes. You know, not necessarily in the channel like we've seen him play in his UAP days, but you know, coming from central and just picking up that little space in between the centre backs and the full backs. He's been really dangerous linking up with Sandro Reyes.
And Parpan finds Alegre. Continuing their control here, ADT, despite the personnel shuffle that they've endured. And Troy Limbo, who's had a fantastic game here for the Azkals development team. Not one you will see on the stat sheet, but put in a very good shift in midfield. Reyes now finds a 9th, and he deserves a goal, Darren.
Yes, and if any player deserves a goal today, it's Sandro Reyes, just for his contributions going forwards. I mean, he's had the cover of the hard-working two centre mids in behind him, but take nothing away from the quality of the his through passes he's been putting through, the little link-up plays he's been bringing to the team.
Number 21, Sandro Reyes.
First to react, and a nice little finish there. And they've waited a long time for their goals, the U23s and ADT, but most certainly they've all come all at once, like waiting for the bus.
It's the final contribution as well here for Sandro Reyes. It looks like he's going to be checked out here. What a way to make a send-off in a match. as Jethro Burlongan. Looks like he's going to be brought in. My mistake. It's going to be Andres Aldeguer who's going to be coming on. Sandro Reyes, real prospect for the future, but already, as you can see, able to contribute quite nicely. Custodio. As you mentioned, one of the overage players on this side. Certainly will be turning a few heads, some of these overage players for ADT. Gayoso, one of those players, of course.
Yeah, and those sorts of players like Matthew Custodia that we just saw head the ball there, they'll be looking to use ADT as a springboard to greater things in their careers. Hopefully go on and either sign for a top club in the Philippines, or go and get more experience, valuable experience abroad, and bring that back to the Philippines in the future.
Looks like there was a change in mind there. It's going to be Troy Limbo who comes off for Andres Aldeguer.
Substitution for Azkals development team. Player number 9.
Yank a guy out after scoring.
Limbo replaced by player number 13, Andres Aldeguer.
Diano, another one of those players. A lot of professional clubs will be looking to. And that was a chance for Uwano. It was a great run. It was just in behind the defensive line when the pass was made.
That would have been very, very tight. It was almost a very nice build-up, and that is late. Referee's going straight over.
Pete Forosuelo just having a little bit of a word there with Pangasinan. You always want to protect the younger members of your squad, and Sandro Reyes is among them.
I mean, yeah, ADT are young in terms of their experience playing professional football at this sort of level, but I mean, take nothing away, they come from top academies all over the world. Most of them, even at younger youth team levels, have represented, I mean, not just for the Philippines, some have represented for their countries and then decided to represent the Philippines at an older age, which is allowed, of course. And you do not reach this level of football if you are a push-around. So they will most certainly stand their ground. And a lot of people were told, as you said, got to protect your younger players in the team. So, and especially Sandro Reyes, who's been having such a good game.
Just behind Uwano there from BS. Mendiola still hunting their first goal of the competition, but as of the moment, they're finding it difficult to get out of their own half.
Yeah, almost as if, Mendiola are out there hunting their first goal, but ADT look really hungry to put double digits on the board. I know it's not nice. We don't really like to see it at this sort of level, but I mean, this is a little glimpse into the window of what future Azkals could be like, and it is nice to see a good playing philosophy. Coach Scott's done a really good job to get it settled into them, and the Coach Giovanni's done an excellent job to get it out of him on this evening.
And if you're a Stallion, you got to be a little bit worried, Darren. This is what you're up against in the semifinals.
Yeah, but I did like the two centre-backs at Stallions. They were really good at keeping it tight, had a certain physicality to them. And I think it will be a much bigger test than this game tonight. I mean, take nothing away from Mendiola. they did have to pick themselves up and dust themselves off after that game against Kaya, and it would have been draining because Kaya had the ball moving from the very start of the game to the very end of the game.
Lots of question marks now around Mendiola. What do you do from here?
Well, the leagues, the cup started on such a high for them. I mean, with their AFC license being approved, and then to go out and not get the results together.
Chance here though for Aaron Altiche, and it's a wonderful recovery. Needed to get it right after a brief slip up, and that was well done by Alegre. That was perhaps the moment that Mendiola was hoping for, just a brief slip up. Custodio caught with a foul there, but that was a real moment for Mendiola. That could have been an opportunity to salvage a bit of pride.
It's just one of those things where you've been working so hard all game, and it is not easy to keep chasing the ball like they are now. And it does take it out of you, so sometimes when you get those opportunities, you're a little bit flat-footed.
Owano's been desperate to get his name on the score sheet as well. Been a real live wire since coming on. It's a good ball forward. Flores unable to keep it though. That was some relentless tackling from ADT. Galloso just looking to get it over to Aldeguer. Play still alive here. BS just about to able to get that under control. Skips past his man. Chance here. And that's neither here nor there for Vincent Parpan. Looked like he was caught in two minds. Titira niya ba o ipapasa niya? In the end, it was neither of those things. Just trying to keep it tidy here, ADT. Owano dropping in. Forosuelo. Aldeguer. Running into a forceful challenge from Pulinag. Nice little exchange here from Mendiola. Payosalan getting involved. Pangasian muscled off. Strong challenge from Parpan. Played quickly. Galloso. And Polina staying sturdy there. Things getting a bit chippy with Galloso. Physicality certainly not a weakness for Polinag. Likes to get stuck in. Five minutes remaining. ADT looking to make it into double digits. Mendiola looking to salvage something from this game. You see Ashley Flores still willing to run for his side. See, still clearly in pain and really nothing on the line here anymore, but he wants to finish off this match.
Yeah, he's the captain and he's just trying to, bring a bit of pride to his team. Just trying to show the right attitude.
2 cracks at BS there, and a yellow card given. Kenneth Payosalan.
Yeah, I know it's all right to be frustrated, but at the same time, that's a little bit unprofessional. I mean, just to swing at the player, just that a little bit of frustration, just because you're not got him the first time. I mean, the game is well and done.
Free kick now. Gayoso sending it to BS once more. He's got room to operate. And that's a little bit too strong from the right winger.
Good vision just to reverse it out to the right-hand side. BS was sharp to get on the ball, but couldn't find the quality into the box. And now Mendiola have got to try to work themselves out deep from the right-hand side.
Ahmed Hajimadi and Forosuela getting into it. And Forosuela just smiling, apologizing to Hamed. Ahmed Hajimadi, a look of frustration over him. And Mick John Pineda just wanting a word with the 2 parties involved. Ahmed Hajimadi undoubtedly will be looking to nutmeg Forosuelo later on just for a bit of revenge.
Of course, I mean, Hamid's had a tidy game as well. I mean, he's not given it away a lot. Just kept it really simple, limited his touches, but just unfortunately not really had a lot of players around him that he can just link with and build on. I mean, when you've got a player like Hamid and you ask him to do so much defensively, kind of takes away from what he's meant to bring from the team, which is that creative flair and the occasional nutmeg, as we know.
Aldeguer. Oano, clean through. Can he make it 10? And what a save from Semblante.
Yes, that was a big moment there from the second choice goalkeeper. All smiles. It's a great save. And of course, stops ADT from reaching that double-digit mark.
Just 2 minutes to be added on. Can't smile quite yet here for Mendiola.
Additional playing time, 2 minutes.
Still a corner to defend here. Semblante gets his hand to it. Hajimadi. Nicely done here. Altiche now with room to run. Gets away from his man. Looked like that might have been a foul from Alegre. I think John Pineda said it was clean. Referee certainly had a better look. Reyes trying to lift that. And safely into the hands of Semblante. Looking just to play this one out. Minute remaining in added time. It's been a flawless victory for the Azkals development team. Forosuelo had that one go under his foot. Ahmed. We're going to play a quick ball to Flores. It could be one more attack here for ADT. Early ball over the top. An easy one for the goalkeeper. One last attack. No. Full-time whistle from Mick John Pineda. Ends the suffering here for Mendiola as the Azkals development team score 9 to book their spot into the semifinals. It's been a nightmarish campaign for Mendiola. First losing by 5 goals against Kaya, and it has been compounded by a 9-goal loss here to the Young Guns of ADT. The semifinals are booked. Stallion take on ADT. Meanwhile, Cebu will face off against Kaya. Let's take a look at some of the action in this second half.
Well, we were always saying it would all come down to the way that Mendiola started that second half, but it just seemed that ADT wanted it a little bit more. It was a bad day in the office for Mendiola, but take nothing away from the energy
The final score is
and the way that ADT conducted themselves, both in the first half scoring 5 and then in the second half by scoring 4, led by this man up front, Harvey Yoso, scoring a bag full of goals with that man there, Sandro Reyes, creator, and also able to show that he can finish as well.
A bag full of goals and a little extra as well for Harvey Gayoso. So close to a second hat-trick or a double hat-trick, but you'd be happy to walk away with 5, Darren. You don't get that too often.
Yes, it doesn't happen very often. I mean, games are usually much tighter than this. As you said, just looking at the scoreline there, ADT, and I think we'll see when we see the possession stats later, ADT have really taken control of this game.
So there we have it. On the 16th of November, we've got 2 cracking matches. One at 4 o'clock between Stallion Laguna and ADT. Then Kaya FC Iloilo take on the newcomers in Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. We will see you in 3 days for these cracking matches. Certainly something that the entire Philippine footballing community need to come in and tune into, as these 2 matches will decide who moves on to the finals. So glad you could join us for this match as ADT break their scoring duck, and they did so in a big way against Mendiola FC 9091. For my partner Darren Hartman, my name is Jing Hamlang saying good night and thank you for watching.
Reaction on this group stage campaign for Mendiola, 2 losses in Group B. But what are the positives you can think of from this campaign, and how will you prepare it for next season?
Oh yeah, so I try some young players for second half so that we can test their abilities and possible for who can play for the next league. But of course, a year without a game is very difficult, and then the same mistakes from the first game, giving easy penalty shot, and then we are so very slow in going back for the defense. That's why ADT is very fast in transition, and then they collect second ball, and then the finishing is very good also. And then consolation to ADT, and good luck for this semis game.
Fielded a more youthful side. Will this be a sign of things to come for the club next season? That
Yeah, some they are new in the game, surprised with the speed of the game, and then sometimes in this kind of situation it's difficult to handle pressure, but we have to try for a long-term target. Hope that next year we can bounce back and we will prepared well.
Coach, from your loss against Kaya, the team finally bounced back. A resounding 9-0 win against Mendiola. Your thoughts on this performance?
Yes, from a tough loss against Kaya FC. So we addressed all the mistakes we made during that game. So we're very impressed of the performance of the players. So they did their every role in the game. So that was very impressive. They play, the hard work is there, uh, the hunger to win. So we're very happy with the result, and then looking forward for the next match against Stallion.
Coach, reaction kay Harvey. 5 goals in this match. One of the top scorers na this season.
Yes, we're expecting that to happen. During our training, we make sure that those positions, like Harvey, we adjust him into forward position. So it's very overwhelming that he performed well. So it's a very positive for his career.
Coach, palabanin niyo Stallion sa semi. So, anong preparation niyo for that game?
2 days time siguro same, but still kailangan pa rin mag-adjust yung mga even we won that scoreline, marami pa rin kailangan i-address. So alam naman natin yung Stallion, a very organized team. So let's see, make another plan, then let's see in the game day.
Five goals in this match, hat-trick. First for you sa professional level, your thoughts on this performance naman?
I look at it as a team effort. We all did our part. We had a lot of good decisions with the adjustments that we've made, and I was just telling the guys that we wanted to make a statement. We wanted to prove, and we wanted to keep working hard no matter what the scoreline was. That we kept doing what we were supposed to do, and the entire team was just happy that we were able to get the win.
What changed from the loss against Kaya leading up to this resounding win?
Definitely the situation that we were in. It was a do or die match, so we had to make sure that we got the win. We wanted to bounce back. We have a lot of guys who are struggling mentally because we came from this loss against Kaya, but at the same time we wanted to pick ourselves up and make sure that we were doing our best in this game. So. Yeah.
First time semi-final match for you sa Copa, and against Stallion, a very familiar coach here in football. How are you looking forward to that tie?
We're definitely gonna build upon this win here. I'm sure the guys and we have all the confidence now, so we're definitely gonna push harder, make sure that we don't relax, and improve upon this game. Thank you. Thank you po.
Papunta ako sa goalie direct.
an opportunity here, and we've got our first goal of the match. Leaves it to Ramsey to make it